TAP's commitment to the environment is at the very heart of our project. TAP has developed an environmental, social and cultural heritage management system to support implementation of the project standards presented in the environmental and social impact assessments approved by the host governments in Greece, Albania and Italy. The management system is aligned with international good practice, including ISO 14001, applicable legislation and the requirements of international lenders. Since the ESIA preparation and approval, TAP has collated additional information on the environmental, social and cultural heritage sensitivities along the pipeline route to support construction readiness and execution, a typical process for all construction projects of similar scale, aligning to good industry practice. In order to achieve the protection and preservation of the natural environment, TAP and the EPC contractors have completed extensive multidisciplinary pre-construction studies involving environmental, social and cultural heritage. These surveys have supported implementation of the mitigation hierarchy that comprises measures taken to avoid impacts from the outset, and where this is not possible, to implement additional measures that would minimize, mitigate and, as a last resort, offset and/or compensate any potential residual adverse impacts. The pre-construction studies provided the additional baseline data required to support detailed site-specific environmental mitigation and monitoring plans. Each EPC contractor has a team of environmental personnel, including ecologists and species specialists, with expert local knowledge of the biodiversity and ecosystems. TAP employs a number of field-based environmental personnel to work with and monitor the EPC contractors to ensure compliance with project standards.
In every time, we walk through every kilometer point from the early beginning at KP 186 until the KP point of 551 near the Greek-Albanian borders in order to find out everything that may interrupt or prevent the construction to move forward and clear all the road before the trenching activities and of course the pipe lay begins.
TAP is fully committed to protecting all avifauna nests until the young have fledged under the supervision of ecologists. The TAP pipeline has some very special neighbours in a number of the forests of Albania and Greece. The European brown bear is an internationally recognized endangered species that inhabits remote forested mountain regions. The protection of bears and their habitat is of utmost importance to TAP. TAP and its EPC contractors have completed a vast number of studies to identify areas of high importance to bears. A robust, non-intrusive bear monitoring program has been implemented that records bear activity near the worksite for 24 hours a day. The purpose of the monitoring program is to ensure that the project has a thorough understanding of why bears use certain areas at different times of the year. This enables construction schedules to be developed around key sensitive periods, such as hibernation or reproduction. One of the main sensitivities within the Italian section of the TAP pipeline are the olive groves. Every tree has been surveyed in detail. Trees will be carefully protected and removed for temporary storage outside the work area until they can be replanted following construction activities. Following the completion of construction activities, TAP will restore the land to its previous condition. Where deep-rooted trees cannot be replanted near the pipeline due to safety restrictions, TAP will compensate this by replanting the trees in other suitable nearby locations to enhance the local forest areas. Detailed restoration and monitoring programs are being developed to ensure that biodiversity is returned to its previous levels, while enhancement projects will be developed and implemented over the long term to ensure that TAP has an overall net gain on critically important habitats and species.
Μέχρι στιγμής έχουμε συναντήσει όλα τα μεγάλα θηλαστικά που υπάρχουν στην χώρα και στην περιοχή της Βόρειας Ελλάδας. Λύκο, Ζαρκάδι, Τσακάλι έχουν καταγράψει κατά τη διάρκεια της μελέτης περιβαλλοντικών επιπτώσεων, Αρκούδα, Αγριόγατα και τα μικρά θηλαστικά.
Topsoil is vital for natural habitats and crops to flourish and is carefully removed and then protected throughout construction. The removal of the topsoil exposes the inorganic subsoil to wind and rain erosion. This can cause damage to sensitive ecosystems by smothering habitat with sediment deposits. To prevent this, teams of workers are employed to install erosion control measures in areas of soil erosion risk to ensure habitat restoration is achieved and maintain long-term integrity of the pipeline.
Κατά τη διάρκεια των χωματουργικών εργασιών και των εργασιών κατασκευής του αγωγού, θέλοντας να διατηρήσουμε καθαρή τη ροή του αγωγού στον υδάτινο αποδέκτη μας, τοποθετούνται γεωϊφάσματα, αχυρώμπαλες και silt fences, τα οποία λειτουργούν ως φίλτρα.